Here's hoping my phone doesn't fall. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my live. I am here with a good friend of mine, Kristy Crippen, who is the founder of Collaborative Partners Administrators. And, did I say that right? Yes, Administrative Services, Collaborative Partners Administrative Services. And
Perfect.
She has been a huge help to me in my business and in my personal life over the last, I would say, 3 to 4 months now, Kristy?
Yep. Yeah, we started over the summer.
Something, yeah, like March or May or June, I think we started working together of this year. And so it's been a couple months, and she has been a huge, huge help for me. And I know that many of you will also find what she has to say be really helpful. So today is the first time where I'm bringing on a guest onto my lives. And so I'm very excited about that. And this will not be the last, but this is something I'm hoping to do on a monthly basis. So let's jump right into it. I have a couple questions that I have for Kristy, and let's go right in. So the first question I have for you, Kristy, is this. What are some common organizational challenges that you see busy women facing, and how can they overcome these obstacles?
I talk to women all the time who are just stressed out, and they feel disorganized, they feel disjointed, and things like, I never have enough hours in my day. You know, my to-do list is a mile long, and there's the sense that it all has to get done in one day, and not having time to prioritize, not being able to readily locate the things they need when they need them. So it could be, say, if you're a mom, it could be, your child's homework or sports equipment. It could be the list that you need to go out shopping that, applies to anybody. In business, it's, where's that file I need? Where's that email that so-and-so sent me on Monday? And now I've got to, fulfill that task that the person asked me to do. Your thoughts feel disorganized and disjointed. So to overcome them, it's about really stepping back and assessing, how are you spending your time? What are your unique needs, both as an individual, but also if you're a business owner or an employee at a company, the professional side of you. What are those unique needs? And really drilling down and assessing, what systems are you using now, and how well are they working? Maybe they're working 30% out of 100%. And it's easy to feel, oh, that's a fail. But really, let's celebrate the fact that you're using a system. And some of it is working. So what tweaks do we need to bump it up to get it to where it's sustainable for you and for your life, and it supports your life?
Yes, I love that, because it's all about making those consistent improvements, right? You have to start somewhere.
Right.
And once you have that starting point, I think many people think that the starting point has to be perfection. And I think that's where they tend to set themselves up for failure. That obviously the starting point is just that. It's a point to get started, but it doesn't necessarily have to be perfect. But a few other things you really talked about that I think really resonate, even with the Mighty Mama community, is not enough hours in the day. That's a huge complaint that women have.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like, do we even need to sleep? Like, what if I didn't sleep and just kept working? Like, how would that work? Because that's really the only way I can foresee getting everything done, which obviously is not the solution either. So, something else to really think about here. And then the other part is how lack of organization makes your thoughts feel very disjointed. I mean, you and I just had a conversation about this yesterday, or was it 2 days ago, about my office. Just, sure, everything right here in this little square looks really nice, but, if I were to turn this camera around, it would show a very different picture 2 days ago. And then I finally took some time yesterday to, get things under control. And even then, we're like 75% of the way there. But wow, what a huge upgrade from what it was before. So, just being organized can really make such a big difference. So my next question for you, Kristy, is, can you share some practical tools or systems that you recommend that can help women streamline their day-to-day tasks and really help them stay on top of things.
Mm. I think the first thing that comes to mind is to take inventory. When I bring on a new client, the first thing that we do together is we do a time audit together. So I have them go through their schedule for 2 weeks on a granular level. How are you spending every minute of every single day? What time do you wake up? What time do you go to bed? And it sounds like a lot, but if you think about it, if you go to, say, a financial planner, right? Your financial planner may have you do a very similar exercise where you're tracking your spending. Like even if you buy a pack of gum, how are you spending every single penny that flows into your bank account? A personal trainer may have you track all of your calories so that you can really see, okay, this is where I'm getting my nutrition from or where I'm lacking. So I have my clients do the same thing, but with their time, because all too often people, they start their day and then boom, it's 3 o'clock and they look at the time and think, where did the day go? So I think it's really mission critical to know, how are you spending your time and is it worthwhile to you? So for instance, maybe somebody's in too many networking groups. They signed up for, a whole bunch of networking groups, and maybe some of those groups, they're not getting the value out of them that they want or need. And it costs, for many groups, there's a fee involved, and there's also the time commitment. So if that group is really not your right group, then it's time to respectfully step out of that group. I think knowing what your priorities are, know when they're due, and know how long it takes to complete each priority is mission critical. That's something that I work with my clients all the time around. I help them to set up priority lists. We look at what are the due dates, and then what is the estimated time of completion for each of those items. Now, somebody could innocently say, I have no idea because I've never done this before. Fair enough. What is our best guess estimate in terms of, and I always say overestimate. Maybe you say, well, I think that this particular task is going to take me an hour. Maybe it takes you 40 minutes. Now that's 20 minutes you've got back. And what are you going to do with those 20 minutes?
Yeah.
I think, I'm sorry.
Better to overestimate than under.
Yes, exactly. I think knowing what software or maybe it's a planner that you love using, it could be a written planner, could be an electronic, online planner. It's about having lists, create those. I mean, there's nothing worse than going to the grocery store without a list. And then you're just in this big store, in this big box going, I know I need to fill my refrigerator and my pantry shelves, and doggone it, I don't remember anything I have to buy. It just instantly saps our energy. So I think I love to ask people I know and trust to say, hey, here's what I'm kind of bumping up against in my life or in my business. Do you utilize a particular system for this, or do you utilize a particular software or program for this? And if so, what do you think of that program? What do you like about it? What do you not like about it? And kind of really, like, I'll throw out that lifeline and ask a whole bunch of people and just get a consensus. I also like to do research, especially if I'm going to buy a program or an app or something along those lines where there's money involved. I want to make sure that it's going to be a good financial investment, that it's something that I'm actually going to use and that it feels good for me. Because if you don't use it, it's a waste of money and time.
I agree. Yeah, no, I love that. I am a planner person. I have my paper planner. I do everything else virtually, but for some reason, my planner has to be like this. Like people ask me, "Oh, are you available on such and such date for a meeting?" And I'm like, if I don't have my planner, I can't tell you because my calendar is not on Google or Apple or anything like that. At least not my full comprehensive one. So yeah, no, I think you should totally lean into, I guess, where your preferences are as opposed to, what everybody else is doing. So I absolutely love that. So thank you. And then I have one last question for you before we round out this
Okay.
live for today. So how can outsourcing some of these tasks, right? Like we have, we all have these organizational challenges. And, for each and every one of us, it's something a little bit different. So how can outsourcing some of them to someone like yourself, a virtual administrator, how can that free up time and reduce overwhelm for those of us who are juggling multiple roles? And also, if you can shed a little bit of light on what exactly is a virtual administrator?
Mm. Um, I'll be honest, virtual administrator is a title that I created for myself. When I started my company, I billed myself as a virtual assistant. I looked at the work that I did when I was actually employed in the corporate world and then for small businesses, and how rewarding it was for me to go to my boss, my superior, and say, hey, is there something I can take off your plate? Is there something you need help with? Virtual assistants are such amazing, vital parts of someone's business because they take those things off your plate and your shoulders for you so that it frees up time so that you can do those things that only you can do. And then I was having a conversation one day with my business consultant, and she said, when you think of a traditional virtual assistant, she said, you are kind of outside of that mode, that role, that concept, because you help people do the mental heavy lifting in your business, in their business. You help them with the mental piece, the psychological piece, the emotional piece, the what's keeping you up at night piece. Like, I love going deep into that, almost like life coaching. So I created that title for myself just to kind of encapsulate the fullness of what I do for my clients. When you hire someone to help you, it's about thinking, it's you want to think about, what role is this person going to serve in my business? What are the services that they offer? What kind of time are they going to free up for me in my business or in my life that I can then get back? So let's say that you are a general contractor and you are struggling with keeping up with invoicing your clients. If you bring on a virtual assistant to help you with that, and on average, it takes you, I'm just going to, for round numbers, I'm going to say half an hour. That's probably not a round number, but just as an example, half an hour per estimate, and you do 10 estimates a week, or 10 invoices a week. Imagine how much time you're going to get back every single week. So let's say that you got back 4 hours every week. What are you now going to do with those 4 hours? Maybe you could go on 4 appointments. And let's say your average job nets you, I don't know, it brings in, I don't know, $2,000. And if you got even one job out of that, that's an extra $2,000 per month in your business. One more than pays for this person you have brought into your business. So look at how is this person going to serve you? Really look at, what are your needs first? And then, does this person meet your needs? And they may not meet all of your needs. Maybe there are a couple of people you need to hire for this one facet of your business. And that's normal and that's okay. But it's about, you want to live a life that is full and it's rich. I see all the time entrepreneurs, small business owners. It's like that pie chart of life. There's the family pie slice. There's the professional pie slice. There's the hobby. There's the, maybe say religious, spiritual, that pie slice. There's all these different pie slices. But yet for us, it is so easy to have the professional kind of overlaid over the entire pie, and our business or our professional life takes over everything. It's always in our thoughts. Even if we're at our kids' ball game, we're thinking, oh, yeah, I've got that report, or I've got to call so-and-so back. So how can these trusted resources help you to feel even more grounded and focused and intentional in your life? How can they take those things off of your plate so that you can be free to live your life in its fullest sense, in a joyful way?
In a joyful way. Yeah, no, I love that. I love the way you just put it there, because that's 100% how I feel since we started working together. Like
Right.
helping me free up some of that time, helping me, do the things that only I can do as a business owner, right? Of course, there's certain tasks that are outsourceable, others that are not. And I think working with you has really helped me kind of distinguish between the two, and to really put my mind into focusing on those things that only I can do as the owner of my company. So that has really been great. But thank you so much, Kristy, for joining me in my very first live today here on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram, depending on where you're watching me. I will include how you can get in touch with Kristy. But Kristy, if you want to let us know what's the best way to get in touch with you?
I would say go to my website, which is collaborativepartnersadmin.com.
Okay.
And there you can learn about the services I offer. You can learn a little bit about me and my own background, and really get a sense of what is it that you need help with in your business. And there's a contact form. There's also, if you would like to be on my newsletter list, I send a newsletter out once a month, and you get a little swag, just to say thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. I had such great fun with you, and I think that what you are doing in the world is so huge, because there's so many moms who need your help, and you have such a beautiful heart and a heart for service. And I am so honored to be on this journey with you.
Thank you so much, Kristy.
You're welcome.
Okay, well, that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining.